Malcolm Mookie Stewart. We finally got him, TJ.
Oh, man.
What's up, Malcolm?
Yeah, what's up?
Dude, I asked you, I don't know how many times, I've had your number for a couple years. At Minneapolis, you're like, yeah, man, I don't really answer texts. Like, call me and leave a voicemail, and then I'll text you back. And I was like, he's blowing me off. But it worked.
No, that's what I was telling. I was like, dude, if you just call me and leave it, because I'm like, nowadays, obviously, with this, everybody's, you get these random numbers, how it goes, dude.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't really know. So I said, if you just call me and then leave a voicemail, I promise you. I said, then I could put it all together. Sure enough, that's all you did. And I was like, boom, see? There it worked.
Is. I thought, like, that's the opposite of how most people work. Like, people are like, don't call me, just text me. You're like, no, don't text me, call me.
No, on top of that, too, is like you have, like, numbers that you don't know.
Sure.
And it's all, I'm like, I don't ever really save numbers, so I'm like, just if you leave a voicemail, I was like, if it's a voicemail, it's important.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I was like, I read it. I was like, okay, this is my guy.
I should have asked you that 2 years ago.
I tried to tell you this.
Yeah. Well, Malcolm, dude, not the year you wanted outdoors, obviously recovering from the knee injury. How does the knee feel after a couple rounds back?
No, it's been going good. Of course, like, Supercross, I did that injury at St. Louis, and then obviously re-hurt it again at Salt Lake City. And, we did a little bit more damage than I thought I was. At first I was like, we should be back. Because originally we were like, we're just going to miss the first 4 rounds and, we should be fine. And then, of course, you did an MRI and stuff and realized there was a little bit more damage than we thought. And the healing process and what we were dealt with, just wasn't going the way we really wanted to. So it's been like it was like a little bit longer injury than I expect again. It's one of those curveballs that you didn't really expect. And you're like, all right, we did a little bit more damage than we thought. So, but man, I got back on the bike and it was, I ain't gonna lie. Once I got back on the bike, I felt like I was, obviously happy to be riding and stuff. But then at the same time, it's like, I felt like I missed so much. I felt like it's like hitting a reset button again, like the whole trying to do the 30-minute motos and like you just feel like you just lose so much endurance. So it's basically been that, just trying to get myself back into shape. And of course, and everybody knows you can never replicate a race. So pretty much for me from May till what we're just saying August, that's a long time with no gate drops in. And I'm to be honest, like, I don't know how the hell I got away with it. My whole half of my career with racing. Of course, it's been 8 years since I raced outdoors. And I really don't know how I got away with some of that stuff, but and still be able to perform that good in Supercross. But obviously, it's definitely changing. Things have changed. The game has changed. Everybody's getting better and stuff like that. So you got to be out there with the guys, man. You have to. That's the only way you need to stay in. That's the only way, I guess I would say, being competitive.
Right.
To the point.
So coming back after all that time off and then kind of coming back to a whole new bike for outdoor riding, has that affected you at all working? Because we've heard other people have trouble with the new frame and the new motor coming back, I guess you'd call it fresh, after they've already done all the testing. Do you think that helped you or hurt you?
I guess I would say I didn't really get too much of a good chance to test, so I've been kind of just running off of everybody else. But of course, you can kind of see that the guys are still struggling a little bit. There's been some flashes. It's definitely just been an up and down year for all our brands. Obviously, the Austria brand, but we're trying the best we can. Of course, it's let's put it this way, it's getting better, and it has gotten a lot better since the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
A lot of the ideas and a lot of the components that we've used in Supercross, we're actually using in outdoors. So, which is a good thing. That means like it keeps it pretty standard. So, again, I definitely didn't really get to do all the testing and stuff. So I'm kind of testing a little bit at the race,
Gotcha.
because I missed so much, but I had a lot of good teammates. Of course, they're all out there doing their thing. So I'm kind of like, keeping an open ear, like, hey, how was the weekend? What you feel, this and that. But man, once you're out there yourself, it's like, all right, everything that they said doesn't even matter.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, all right, like we're out here fending for ourselves at this point. So, but I actually been enjoying it, man. Like, of course, like these aren't the results that of course I want to get, but at the same time, it's to me, yeah, I want to go out there and do the best I can. But we're so kind of late in the game. It's like, it's hard. You're kind of have your back against the wall. It's just really just like getting the gate drops and getting back into it and just being healthy and do the best you can. That's kind of what we kind of trying to finish out these last couple of races, is just not really trying to set too much of a tone. It's just really just have the gate drops and have fun, man. Like that's what it really comes down to. And then next year when we do outdoors, we'll have obviously, hopefully we have a great, Supercross season going in 2023 and then fresh going into correctly outdoors. And I feel that I'll be right back up there.
It's exciting to hear you look forward to outdoors. I'm just saying, it's exciting.
Yeah.
No, it's. I say one thing that's cool about it. At least the day's done early.
Yeah, sure, that's right.
I've actually caught every flight home so far. So
it's not midnight. That's
nice.
Yeah.
I get, in a way it's nice, but in a way it's not nice because that means I'm not in the winter circle, right? So, but yeah, man. Honestly, it's cool just to have a different vibe and. It's nice, man. It's just nice to be back out, and I think I'm just more happy just to be back racing in general.
I can hear it. Yeah, I hear it.
Yeah, like it's not even if it's indoor, outdoor, it doesn't even matter. It's just having the gate drops and obviously, of course, like you're seeing guys that you haven't seen since Supercross, and we're all like everybody's friends before the gate, before the gate drops. But it's more of just being around guys that you've been around all from January to May. So it's just a kind of, I guess I'd say more like I'm joining back in the family.
Reunion, yeah.
The bike's getting better. We're getting better. The whole team's getting better. All the brands are getting better. So
absolutely.
Again, it's of course we started out, and that's part of it, new bikes and stuff like that. There's always a little bit of a rocky ridge that you go on, but it doesn't take much. I'm glad that we have Dungy out there. He's obviously a fellow past champion, so he knows what he's doing. So that's obviously helping a lot for us as well. So it's good data for us, period.
So when you were off the bike, did you get any like fishing tournaments in? How'd that go?
I didn't do any fishing tournaments. I thought about doing one, but man,
what?
Like I said, I was kind of put in a situation where I couldn't really do too much, but again, like I said, we had a little bit longer process than we did, but I was enjoying it. I guess I would say it was nice, but at the same time, it's like, as a racer, you're just sitting there, you're like, man, I know what I should be doing on Saturday.
Right.
Not, so, it bothered me, but I obviously dedicated all my time to watching my teammates and stuff riding. But yeah, I thought about doing some tournaments, man. It crossed my mind, but I didn't want to get whooped, man. That's my thing. I'm a sore loser when it comes to fishing too, I'm a big sore loser.
Yeah.
Like my cousins, my friends, like, man, it's like they beat me. Everybody wants to just beat me. I'm like, that's why I don't really try to do tournaments.
You've always obviously been known as being easygoing and kind of laid back, and I just kind of wanted to know how you kind of compartmentalize taking it serious as your career and your job without kind of ruining your natural love for the sport.
It's weird. Like my background was more like, I like riding, but I didn't care for racing.
Right. Yeah.
It was more like I was dedicated to fishing. I wanted to grow up and be a fisherman.
We all saw Bubba's World.
All like Bill Dance videos and Kevin Van Dam. Like those are my idols. Like it wasn't necessarily like, no disrespect, like Jeremy McGrath, Dave McGrath. I was like, nah, we going fishing, baby. That's where it's at. So, but something clicked. I don't know what it was, and honestly I think it was more just the reality of it. I'm like, I would hate to try to pursue my fishing career and it may not work out. I obviously had a lot of natural talent of riding a motorcycle, so it was more like my mind just got made up. When that was really once I turned like 17, 18, it was like going into my rookie year of racing Supercross and I was back when I was on the Suzuki. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? Let's just try to have a good year. I said, I'll do 1 year pro, see how it goes. And, I'm still young enough. If I want to turn whatever I want to do, I could do. Right. And I had a really good year. And I was like, it's not too bad. Made a little cash, So I was like, not bad for a little 18-year-old. So next, I signed a 2-year deal with JDR, and I was like, man, this is actually pretty cool. So, but the moral of the story was, you can always go back fishing. You can't ride dirt bikes when you're older, like at that level of being pro. So
yeah.
I just pretty much set aside of kind of like, hey, this is what you want. You can do this, when you're older. And of course, I have great parents. My brother was racing, and they're always like, hey, look, dude, like, make all your money in riding motorcycles, and you can buy any bass boat you want. You can So I was like, that doesn't sound too bad, so let's just do it. So and then next we just kept trucking along, kept getting better and getting better each and every year, and then here we are 15 years later.
sounds like you need to get
it was a pretty simple deal. Just, it wasn't like I grew up and I was like, oh man, I'm dedicated to fishing. And I honestly think it was more of like, to do it, obviously because my brother was racing. It was like, I was thinking of maybe trying to do something else.
Wait, you have a brother that races?
Yeah, right.
Oh man.
No, I'm just saying, it's just more because he was obviously racing and stuff, and we're obviously one big racing family, but it how it is, man. Like, you feel like you're always like that brother. It's always, every brother has something different. We grew up to do two different people, but we are two totally different people that do the exact same thing. But so obviously I just took over it, and here we are.
I want to ask you about next year. You're locked in with a Husky contract. That has to feel really good to not worry about where you're going to be.
Yeah, no, it feels good. It honestly does. Just me knowing that I could have a really good off season going into, next year, and it not stressing, of course, my past few year, deals, that I've been on since I'm 450s. It's been, 1-year deals here and there. And I felt like I got to the point I started riding every brand that was, available at the time. And I was like, man, it's hard, man. And you're getting these, and it's like you're getting these calls late. It's not like you're getting them at, in July or whatever.
Now,
I'm getting them in like November. So it's, November to December. So it's kind of gets a little harder and it puts a lot of pressure on you. But I'm glad that, obviously Husqvarna saw something in me and they gave me and locked me in for 2 years. And I felt like, and I was just like, man, I just need a shot. Just give me a shot where I can have a successful off season. And, here we are. We had a really good off season last year, and Supercross went well, So I definitely think going into next year, I feel like I'll even be better.
All right, Mookie. So we had a listener question. They wanted to know your favorite and least favorite thing of the Baker's program.
Oh, the diet.
Diet's and be the worst. Least favorite. I say, I think there's a lot of least favorites. I would say, like, I think that, like, my favorite thing is obviously training with all the guys, the good group of guys. Allen has a phenomenal facility. I think, and it's close. It's close to home, so I think that's nice. I'd say the least favorite.
If it's not,
day.
I was gonna say, if it's not,
favorite is probably weigh-in day, the random weigh-in day.
I was gonna say, if it's not diet, you're wrong.
Yeah, no, it's definitely 100% diet. So I'd say the random weigh-in days kind of have to keep you sharp. So, those random weigh-in days they're a little tough. So I think that's the only edge. I would say that's kind of bums you out.
Right,
and he's on you too, buddy.
I've heard the stories.
Oh yeah, Whew. Oh yeah. There's so many times where he's texted me and said, I want to see a picture of you on the scale. And he goes, send a picture on the scale. And he goes, no, I want to see black feet on the scale. I'm like, oh, man. Bro, man, it's funny. But actually, of course, I know Alden whenever he was training with James. So we had a little bit of a relationship before then and stuff like that. So, for me to come back over there, it's not like it didn't feel weird or anything. And we just connected right off the rip. So, but time whenever my brother was training with him, I was eating powdered donuts and stuff like that, of course. So
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh, you ain't gonna get away with that now." I got the little brother now. So,
Oh man.
but it's been going good. It's been going good. So I would say the least favorite is definitely the random weigh-ins.
Okay. I want to say thank you for not doing Pulp MX last night. Steve said he reached out, but you couldn't do it. And I always try to make sure I get guests that aren't on his show on Monday night so we don't kind of go back to back. And I was like, watch. I was thinking all morning yesterday. I finally got Malcolm, and watch. Steve's going to get him too. So
I always say, like, if I'm dedicated to one show, like I didn't want to do it back to back. I was like, that's not right. I don't ever want to do that. So,
well, thank you.
Well, yeah, and you reached out, and I feel like we've been trying to do this for a while. So, yeah, So no disrespect to Steve.
No, Steve's the man.
But I said he first come, first serve.
Yeah,
I'll get you in first, and that's just the way it should be.
Steve's great. I do a show for Steve, but thankfully I was thankful of that. But my question is, a little while ago you talked about getting back to the races, seeing everybody, the reunion of like the family. This weekend, one of the family members, who maybe you're not so fond of seeing all the time, had a little incident. What do you make of what you've seen or heard from the Justin Barcia, Dylan Ferrandis? Do you have a point of view on that?
I mean,
you don't have to answer.
Fair, honestly, when I saw the video, when I saw the pictures that Ferrandis posted, it's hard to. Of course, you can only just see him getting blown off the track, whatever. Right. Then Barcia posted a video, I don't know if it was yesterday or 2 days ago, whatever. They both ran into it. I don't know who originally started before that, so it's of course, but at the same time, man, like it's I already know what it feels like off the track. I already know what it feels like to get blown off the motorcycle. So
yeah,
if you ask me if I'm surprised, no, not at all, not even a little bit. But at the same time, I would say if it was only his first time doing it, yeah, he can get a pass. But this has been going on for a little bit now.
And that's why the DQ happened.
It is. I mean, of course, I got to race the guy, but at the same time, man, I'm more saying just hopefully Ferrandis isn't hurt or anything like that. Right. And Dylan's going to get him back. I mean, I just feel like he's going to get him back just out of retaliation. It may be this weekend, maybe Moto 1, maybe practice, who knows, but when it usually the downfall is when a guy does like that, you're gonna set a tone at some point. You're not gonna let it sit for a little while. So, but I don't know, man. It doesn't surprise me if that's what you're asking.
No, I was just wanting your thoughts.
Yeah. So.
All right, we got one more for you.
If it happens to me, I don't know.
Yeah,
I already had happened once. But,
we were there. You were heated at Anaheim.
I'm hoping it doesn't happen again, but
sure.
If it does, we're going to be on the bottom.
Is it safe to say that your dad is the GOAT of moto dads? He's been doing this for like 30 years now.
He's been doing it for a while now, huh? No, I think he's been, yeah, I mean, but I also feel like, I do feel like the dad that's probably going to be taking over eventually at some point was going to be Jet and Hunter's dad.
Yeah.
It's because, of course, them two, they're young. They're still in the 250 class. So I feel like of course, they've already been very successful. So, who knows, man? You never know. But yeah, Pops he's definitely been in the game for a while, So, but he loves going to the races, man.
Yeah.
He's a dad.
Sure.
At that point, they're dads. They're happy. Their sons are out. They had, one son had his very successful year. Now you got the other ones trying to do what his thing is. So he's just a happy dad.
Yeah.
Is he still just dancing on the sideline when you're coming by?
No, hey, I will say one thing. Something about his hands just makes you look. I don't know why. He was standing in front of the mechanics area, and I was looking at him and not even reading my pit board because it was I know what I need. long as he's coming around the corner, I'll come around the corner and he's clapping or whatever it needs to be doing. I don't need those pit board.
Yeah.
I know what those hand signals are.
That's awesome.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he comes. What the cool thing too is like he actually comes to Alden's a lot and helps me. What just being there in general. He comes, obviously he comes a lot and stuff like that. It helps me, it helps RJ, and helps Jalik and everybody else. But I always tell him, I said, you ain't just coming up here for just us. He does his little roundabout, and there's a massive car auction, and they also have like a swap meet that's not too far away from Alden's, and he does his little scenic route on the way home.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
He, like I said, we are talking about the man that is in the old school and stuff like that.
Corvettes,
so,
right?
Yes, and I will say I will say as a dad, I say the most annoying thing that dads that they should never get on is Facebook Marketplace. Ever since that has came out, it has gone insane. Every friend that I know that their parents is Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They can't let it go. Cannot let it go.
You watch your mouth, sir. I was on Facebook.
I know.
I bought
I'm
something
so
off
sorry,
yesterday.
but I'm just telling you.
TJ's on he's on Marketplace right now.
My dad's like, they're giving it away.
Exactly.
I just gotta get it.
Exactly. yeah, because that's the literal conversation I had with my wife yesterday when I went to go buy a trailer. I'm like, did you see how cheap this is?
Yes. Oh yeah. I literally, my mom is just like, I can't. He can't control himself.
Right.
I'm like, I don't know.
Hey, I told you that was the last one, but I really just real quick. Did you get to watch the race back? What'd you think of your brothers announcing?
No, it's good.
Yeah.
I think the announcing's always good. He always has that little sense of humor in him, and of course, when he does his little podcast, you guys can see a little bit of spurts of that. But yeah, no, it's. I think he did a phenomenal job of announcing it. He actually, to be honest, he reminded me of like Grant Langston when he was doing it a lot. You know, they have that little, just their ways of saying and talk about riders and stuff.
Yeah,
it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, it's good having him back. He's getting back involved a little bit. It's good to see his face around.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
Malcolm, we're going to let you go, man. We took enough of your time. It's been a pleasure finally getting you on here. Hopefully it won't be another 6 years before we do it again.
No, I got the number now, man. I'll tell you what you got to do.
Yeah, I got it figured out. I know the science behind it now.
I appreciate it, man. Well, thank you guys for having me on. And are you guys going to any races?
I'll be at Paula. I'll be at Paula.
Nice.
Yep.
Well, I'll see you guys then.
All right, man. Thanks, Mookie.
Yeah, appreciate it.
See you, bud.
See ya.